The Nile River was the lifeblood of ancient Egypt. It provided water, food and transportation. The river's annual flooding deposited rich silt along its banks, creating fertile land for agriculture. This allowed the Egyptians to grow essential crops like wheat and barley. The Nile was also a crucial transportation route, linking various parts of the country. Boats carried goods and people, facilitating trade and communication. The river's predictable flooding cycles allowed the Egyptians to develop a calendar and plan their agricultural activities. The importance of the Nile extended beyond practical needs, holding a significant place in Egyptian mythology and religion. It was truly the heart of the civilization. Ancient Egypt had a highly stratified social structure. At the top was the pharaoh, considered a living god on earth. The pharaoh held absolute power and was responsible for maintaining order and harmony. Below the pharaoh were the nobles and priests who managed estates and conducted religious ceremonies. Religion was deeply intertwined with daily life. Next came the scribes and craftsmen. Scribes were essential for keeping records and documenting events. Craftsmen, including builders and jewelers, created goods that supported the economy and culture. At the bottom were the farmers and laborers. They worked the land and built the monumental structures for which Egypt is famous. Despite their lower status, their labor was vital to the civilization's prosperity. This hierarchical system ensured that everyone had a role in maintaining the stability and success of ancient Egypt. The pyramids of ancient Egypt are among the most iconic structures in the world. These monumental tombs were built to house the remains of pharaohs and ensure their journey to the afterlife. The most famous pyramids are located at Giza, including the Great Pyramid, built for Pharaoh Khufu. Constructing these massive structures was a colossal task involving thousands of laborers. Workers used simple tools and techniques to move the enormous stone blocks into place. The precision and skill required are still admired today. The pyramids were not just tombs, they were also symbols of the pharaoh's power and divine status. The interiors were filled with treasures and items for the afterlife. These structures remain a testament to the ingenuity and determination of the ancient Egyptians. Religion was at the heart of ancient Egyptian life. The Egyptians believed in a pantheon of gods and goddesses, each responsible for different aspects of the world and human experience. Some of the most important deities included Ra, the sun god, Osiris, the god of the afterlife, and Isis, the goddess of magic and motherhood. Ra traveled across the sky each day in a solar boat, bringing light to the world. Osiris was associated with the afterlife and resurrection. The Egyptians believed that the afterlife was a continuation of life on Earth. To ensure a successful journey to the afterlife, they practiced elaborate burial rituals, including mummification. The concept of Ma'at, or cosmic order, represented truth, balance, and justice. The pharaoh was seen as the guarantor of Ma'at, responsible for maintaining harmony in the world. This belief system influenced every aspect of Egyptian society, from law to architecture. Temples were the spiritual and cultural centers of ancient Egypt. They were not only places of worship, but also served as administrative and economic hubs. Each temple was dedicated to a specific god or goddess, and the priests conducted daily rituals to honor these deities. The temples were designed to reflect the divine order. The innermost sanctuary housed the statue of the god or goddess to whom the temple was dedicated. Priests played a crucial role in maintaining the temples and conducting religious ceremonies. Temples also served as centers of learning and art. They housed libraries, workshops and schools where scribes and craftsmen honed their skills. The economic activities associated with temples contributed to the prosperity of the surrounding community. The temples of ancient Egypt were truly multifaceted institutions that played a vital role in the civilization's cultural and religious life. Hieroglyphs were the writing system of ancient Egypt. These intricate symbols were used for religious texts, official inscriptions, and monumental architecture. Each hieroglyph could represent a sound, a concept, or an idea, making the script both complex and versatile. For everyday writing, the Egyptians used a simplified script called hieratic. Scribes were the custodians of these writing systems, and their training was rigorous. The discovery of the Rosetta Stone in 1799 was a groundbreaking moment in the study of ancient Egypt. The stone featured the same text in 3 scripts: Greek, Demotic, and Hieroglyphic. This allowed scholars to finally decipher hieroglyphs, opening a window into the world of ancient Egypt. The ability to read hieroglyphs has provided invaluable insights into Egyptian culture, religion, and history. The Rosetta Stone remains one of the most significant archaeological discoveries of all time. Burial practices in ancient Egypt were elaborate and deeply rooted in their beliefs about the afterlife. The Egyptians believed that preserving the body through mummification was essential for the deceased to reach the afterlife. Tombs were filled with items that the deceased might need, including food, clothing, and treasures. One of the most famous discoveries related to Egyptian burial practices was the tomb of King Tutankhamun. Discovered in 1922 by Howard Carter, the tomb was remarkably well preserved and filled with an astonishing array of artifacts. The treasures found in Tutankhamun's tomb included his iconic golden mask, jewelry, chariots, and even food. These items were intended to ensure his comfort and status in the afterlife. The discovery captivated the world and sparked a renewed interest in ancient Egypt. King Tutankhamun's tomb is significant not just for its contents, but also for what it reveals about Egyptian culture and beliefs. The tomb remains one of the most important archaeological finds in history. Ancient Egypt was advanced in many fields, including medicine. The Egyptians practiced a form of medicine that combined practical treatments with spiritual healing. They had a deep understanding of anatomy, partly due to their mummification practices, and used a variety of treatments for ailments. Medical texts, such as the Ebers Papyrus, provide insight into their medical knowledge. These texts included treatments for various conditions, surgical procedures, and the use of medicinal plants. The Egyptians also practiced dentistry and had remedies for dental issues. Daily life in ancient Egypt was rich and varied. Art played a significant role, with skilled craftsmen creating beautiful jewelry, pottery, and sculptures. Music and dance were also important aspects of their culture, often performed during religious ceremonies and festivals. Family life was central to Egyptian society. Homes were typically made of mud brick, and families often lived in close-knit communities. The Egyptians enjoyed a diet that included bread, beer, vegetables, and fish. The decline of the Egyptian Empire was a gradual process, influenced by various factors. Internal strife, economic troubles, and external invasions all played a role. The New Kingdom, which marked the height of Egypt's power, eventually gave way to periods of instability and foreign rule. One of the significant factors in Egypt's decline was the invasion by the Assyrians and later the Persians. These invasions weakened the central authority and led to periods of foreign domination. The arrival of Alexander the Great in 332 BCE marked the beginning of the Hellenistic period in Egypt, further eroding its traditional culture. Economic difficulties also contributed to the decline. The cost of maintaining a vast empire, combined with poor harvests and administrative corruption, strained the economy. The final blow came with the Roman conquest in 30 BCE. Despite its decline, the legacy of ancient Egypt continued to influence subsequent civilizations and remains a subject of fascination today. The legacy of ancient Egypt endures in many ways. Its monumental architecture, such as the pyramids and temples, continues to awe and inspire. The art and artifacts discovered in tombs and ruins offer a glimpse into a civilization that was both sophisticated and deeply spiritual. Egyptian mythology and religious beliefs have also left a lasting impact. Concepts such as the afterlife and the pantheon of gods have influenced other cultures and religions. The study of hieroglyphs and the Rosetta Stone has provided invaluable insights into the history and language of ancient Egypt. The fascination with ancient Egypt has permeated popular culture, from literature and film to fashion and architecture. The discovery of King Tutankhamun's tomb and other archaeological finds have fueled a global interest in Egyptology. Museums around the world display Egyptian artifacts, drawing millions of visitors each year. Ancient Egypt remains a symbol of human achievement and a source of endless fascination.